Warning. Pro-Tri News is a podcast with different opinions, knowledge, and possibly fake news about triathlon racing. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and some stories may be dramatized for comedic effect. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Pro-Tri News. I'm your host, Kyle Glass, joined by the best coach in triathlon, Mark Matthews, after his wife is now the fastest female in Kona. Mark, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm very good. It's obviously, that is tongue-in-cheek. I don't genuinely believe that. Kat is a joke to coach running. It's very easy for her. I'm good. We are in Marbella. We came a bit early. The weather in the UK is terrible, and we were just sat at home, and Kat was getting grouchy and bored. So we flew out on Friday as opposed to Tuesday, and great decision. The weather's beautiful. The course is great. The town is wonderful. It's not really Marbella itself. It's actually way more down towards the port. Super yachts in the harbour, restaurants on the front. It's lovely.
Nice. And one of the best agents in triathlon, Patrick Lemieux. Patrick?
Best agent in triathlon.
I am doing my toughest negotiation this morning with my 3-year-old. He had a meltdown on the way home from school. We walk across the fence, we bring Stanley to school, and on the way home he saw an airplane flying overhead of us. And he just starts going, "When is it landing?" And I said, "George, I don't know." "When is it landing?" "George, I'm not sure." "When is it landing?" And I'm like, "George, I got no clue." That answer was not working for the little man today. So that's how my day has started.
Wait, are you sure he was talking about a plane or maybe a topic that you were trying to land the plane on?
It could. If you know me, I can elaborate. So yes, it could have been either one.
George, we're just got to do a search, seek, and discover on this topic, George, and we'll get to it.
George, we're just going to do a quick LSD experience on it. Okay, look, search, discover.
And the best content creator in triathlon, Talbot Cox. Talbot, how are you?
I wouldn't say that, but I'm doing really good. I'm excited for this race. I'm bummed that the whole team's not there, but I'm really, really excited for this race. So
I guess we do have to address Kyle. How are you? You never get the how are you? How are you?
Oh,
Kyle?
yeah, I'm doing good. I was going to try and somehow squeeze my way to come into Marbella, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I have a job that kind of needs my assistance at the moment. So, yeah, just staying here and gonna watch the race basically in the middle of the night. So it'll be great. But yeah, I'm doing good.
I guess we have to address that. Like, why aren't we in Marbella doing a live show?
Yeah, we had a lot of messages.
We have done this year we've done Oceanside, we've done Texas, we've done where else have we done? You went to Australia, we did
yeah,
Roth,
I did Cairns, Roth, Swansea,
yeah.
And then we did
Nice,
Kona. So we did 7 live shows this year, and it was just like it was going to be challenging to get us all to come to Marbella anyway, and so we were like,
so just bear with us, guys. Like, we do have real jobs. Well, the other 3 have real jobs. I don't, as we know. And that, we're not going to get to every race, and this is hard for the US boys, but we'll be back next year.
If it was like a 1 flight, 2 flight thing, but for me from Oklahoma, it's like 3 flights. So, oh well, we'll do it next year in Nice. We'll do another big live show in Nice, and then a massive live show in Kona next year. So, appreciate all the messages of people wanting to have one. So, next up, we had Noosa Triathlon this weekend, one of the biggest races. Over 8,000 people raced. Winning the race on the day was Matthew Hauser, backing up his WTCS world title, and winning ahead of John Reed and Luke William. And then on the women's side, Jess Folligar won the race, U23 world champion in second, Rochelle Hill, and Cassandra Bogaran, third place. Anything to write home about from that one?
2 takeaways for me. Jessica Folligar, really impressive. Rode really well. Ran really well. I think she has a future in T100 middle distance and then long course if she wants. I imagine she'll build towards the next Olympics first, though. But that was super impressive. She was dominant. The other one, surely, boys, the drafting. The videos of the drafting are comedy gold.
It's at a point where in this race it was so bad that it was like kind of fun to watch because it was like so funny to watch, if that makes sense.
I guess that's what happens when you throw a whole load of short course athletes that never do a non-draft race. You don't have race ranger. You don't have, like all the referees out there. Like, whatever. Do you just start Noosa knowing that's the sketch and it's a bit of a lottery?
I mean, to be
Do we
fair,
care?
it is. I don't think we really care as much. There's not a series on the line. It's more of like a spectator event. It's such an incredible event over the whole
Yeah.
weekend that it almost like makes the race closer. The only funny thing about the drafting that I think the only thing that makes me more upset is that you give out a drafting penalty to Cassandra Bergrand. Like that's the only thing that like kind of kills me.
Does part of you not think, how bad must she have been drafting
Exactly.
to get the penalty in that
I
race?
was wondering that. I was like, man, we've seen like I thought I was. I mean, when it when you just scroll on your feed and you see it, and I thought that there was like a team time trial going on in a UCI event. I was like, what is this? And then I was like, oh, this is a triathlon.
There are some French cycling teams that do worse jobs of a team time trial than those guys were doing in a non-drafting race. Like, yeah.
If you go visit On Your Left, they uploaded some pretty raw clips. I think that Chase had screen recorded and sent over to them. But I mean, we're just hilarious. So
Right. Come on, me and you, Talbot, me and you were like, we can't be bothered to talk about Noosa, and we just talked about it for 4 minutes. Right,
You guys
Kyle,
just banged it out. 70.3 Langkawi in Malaysia happened. Julie Duran won the race by about 5 minutes, pretty much gun to tape. Second place, Natalie Van Coverden, and third place, Justine Guerrard. And then on the men's side, Josh Ferris wins his second 70.3 after having the fastest swim split and hanging on for a victory, won by about 4 minutes over Jens Nielsen and Tyler Mislachuk. So
the only thing there for me is Julie Duran. I find interesting. She tried to come to Kona, apparently overcooked the camp or something, wasn't able to race Kona despite like qualifying for it. And then clearly she actually can still win the T100 series. So maybe that was just like a bit of a prep race for her.
yeah, I think she said she was still dealing with like her injury from her crash, but maybe she overcooked the camp as well. So this is the reason why everyone's listening to this podcast, I'm sure, is for us to talk about the 70.3 World Championship in Marbella this weekend. It is, people can say whatever they want, but I would say that this is one of the most stacked, unpredictable 70.3 World Championships we've had in a while. Yeah?
I would say certainly on the men's side. Go on, Pat.
I would even say certainly on the women's side as far as the unpredictability part. With just given the pure timing of this, this is obviously much closer for the women post Kona, where the men have had a proper, we'll call it 7+ weeks, right? And so I think they were able to kind of come down, regroup. Where I feel like the women, there's just, if you race Kona, you're still just kind of in the throes of that. That was not that long ago.
I think one of the coolest things about this race is, don't get me wrong, like the dominating Jan Frodeno days were cool to watch, but we're in an era now of triathlon that we literally have no idea. Like we can sit here and you guys will listen to our show and we'll talk about the race and we'll try to talk about all the athletes and predict the outcome and all this stuff. No one has no idea. I mean, literally, you could flip a coin on who's going to win this race because there's no clear favorite in this. I mean, there's so many athletes that like anything can happen in this race.
Yeah, I think, and the course adds to the unpredictability as well, because it's not just going to be a swim with a huge bike pack and then a run, which probably takes us onto the course discussion. But that definitely is what gives it an element of, it's not just Kona. It's not just the fact we have 3 Norwegians. We have all these Uber hitters. We have last year's champ. It's also like there is a serious climb at the start of this race. So the course basically is a sea swim. It will be wetsuit. It looks pretty flat in the mornings. It's choppy today because the wind's really up, but otherwise it's been totally calm. So it'll be a flat, pretty standard sea swim. The wetsuit helps the weaker swimmers, so don't expect quite the bigger gaps that you would see normally. Then you crack transition. By the way, transition stuff was set up when we got here on Friday. They are all over it. And I don't often say much about that in this terms of the Spanish logistics and organizational culture. But at this race, they are certainly on it. There's not been any siestas in the setup. They are rolling out straight away. So then you get onto the bike and there's like 5K.
One thing
out.
quick on the
Go on.
swim, Mark.
Mhm.
So there's 5 turns, right? And then the first turn is at 300 meters, and then there's another 300 meters before a 200-meter turn, and then a long stretch.
There are a few turns fairly early on, but I think 300 is enough that it's not like on you. It's not one of these 150-meter world triathlon short ones, but 300 with such a big field will see some bunching up, definitely. And that suits the strong swimmers because they'll get out early and then hope the boys split things up a bit.
Yeah. Sorry,
you're
you're on for a good one.
No, that's all right. The bike, you roll out 5K or so, and then you turn left off the kind of the coastal road, which is pan flat, so that people get a chance to shake out, and then you hit a really steep little climb. Think a bit like the climb at the start of the Nice Ironman World Champs course, and it flattens out a little bit on a highway, and then it climbs properly. And the climb itself is like anywhere between like 22 and 30 minutes, depending on men, women, etc. And there's some switchbacks in there. There's some steep sections. There's some sections where you might get in the bars. It's really nice. And then it drops down again, long kind of draggy descent. You have to power ride down, and then a couple of kickers. You turn around, come back, and you climb back up that climb. Not quite from as low. So it's about 20 minutes back up and over, then into like a 7-minute super fast TT bar descent before you drop onto the coast road and come back. So all in all, there's probably like an hour of climbing spread out across the course, but some of it is serious sustained climbing. I mean, 1,700 meters, there is 1.5 times as much climbing here as there is in Nice per mile. So it is a much hillier course than Nice Ironman, for instance.
5,800 feet for the American audience that are listening.
Yeah, 1,700 meters for the rest of the world. It's a lot of climbing, and it involves gear selection, it involves position, it involves weight on the bike, it involves also needing to be aero because there's so much of it that you need to be aero. It's exciting.
And is there a world where the wind really impacts this race? Like you speak about with the wind today, is if that happens on race day for either the men or the women, does that all like throw some additional impact into it?
It could, except the forecast is showing really light to no wind.
Yeah.
But the traditional wind here blows off the sea, so you essentially would have a tailwind up the hardest climb into a headwind downhill, which is sort of kind of, I mean, it doesn't help break the groups up because the groups will break on the climb or they won't, and on the way back down, it really helps people stay together. But I think we're expecting low winds.
And then just with the temperature and the humidity, how's it been all week? Are we going to see that? Is that going to be a storyline this weekend, or has it been just like kind of perfect?
On the run, like it's sort of perfect. It'll be mid-20s in Celsius, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. So it's not bad. And then the only time it does feel quite hot here, to be honest, is if you're running, there's either a slight tail breeze or a slight head breeze, nothing much. But when you have that tail breeze and the sun's beating in your face, it does get hot. Like you really start to drip sweat straight away. Yes, I have been running. And you do really feel it start to cook you. So if the sun is out bright and clear and there's a bit of a tailwind, expect some sections where people will have to think about their core temperature a bit.
And the run, Mark, it's relatively flat, some crushed gravel, things like that.
Yeah, it starts out transition, runs down the coast for a couple of K, and that's like almost really hard packed sand, but it's not kicky up sand. It's just that slight slippy feel. At the back of your running stride, you feel your shoe slip slightly. It's a bit like that. But then it turns into a park, does a loop of a park, and comes back down a road over a bridge, which I think is like the biggest climb in the whole course. So it's a flat run course. It is fast. It's had fast times running it before. I don't think the sand will play as much effect as you think. Maybe there is a bit of shoe selection if you're one of these brands where you have choices like Asics. You have a couple of choices. But I think all in all, it's a flat, fast run.
And I'm sorry, is the run a 1 or a 2-lap run?
It's 2-lap run, which I think is good. I like 2 laps. For spectators, I think is better. You might meet a bit of congestion on the second lap, but the pros have a bit of a gap here. Single sex, so the courses are still really full because there's so many people racing. Yeah. But I think 2 laps is the right. I think 3 is too many for such a big field. 2 makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yep, and then obviously we see it. Yeah, and then we talked about it's a 90K loop on the ride. Mark, you and I talked about this yesterday. From an age group standpoint, is the bike course borderline too hard for some age groupers? Like, are we going to hear that as will that be feedback afterwards?
I think if that's your feedback, you should question whether you should have accepted your slot to a World Championships, because this is a by qualification race. So by the very nature of that, you should have the best age groupers here. So if your bike skills aren't up to it, and I'll be honest, some of the people on the course are not up to this, you can't complain about the course because you got the chance, you were offered a slot, you qualified, you knew it was designed for hard athletes or more experienced athletes. Don't complain about the course. No, it's not, Pat, it's safe. If they'd reverse, you actually go up the main climb on one road and you'd come down on a different road. Essentially, there's a main road up and there's through the villages up. But you climb through the villages and you come down the main road. If they'd done it the other way, then I would say yes. There are some sketchy corners coming down the way they climb up. But all in all, I would say it's really safe. It's lovely and wide. It's closed road and they'll make you stick to the right-hand lane. So you actually have, then there are 2 lanes that come up. So if you cock a corner up, the dangerous side, there is 2 whole lanes before you then hit a wall. And of course, you should have been inside the line. So I think it's safe.
Before we get into the race itself, I think that this race has almost been going on for 2 decades now. It started in 2006 in Clearwater, Florida, had a long running there. No one really cared about this race. People only cared about Kona at that time. Then it went to Vegas. It went kind of all around the world. It went to Canada, Austria, Mooloolaba, Chattanooga. Ironman's done a phenomenal job at, even as far as to say people, maybe I'm a bit biased, even as far as when we went to Australia, when I went to that World Championship, it didn't still feel like that this was a really recognized World Championship. And this is a absolutely phenomenal spectacle event if you win this World Champion. I know there's so many World Championships, but Ironman has done such a good job at building this to be such a spectacle event. A few other random notes on this. No male has ever won this race more than 2 times, which is quite interesting. You got Mikey Raylert, Sebastian Kienle, and Gustav Eden are the only athletes that have won it 2 times. So if Gustav wins, he'll be the only athlete that has that many titles. Daniela has won this race 1 million times, but no female has ever won this race more than 3 times in a row. So if Taylor Knibb checks that box, she will be the first ever go 4 in a row. Holly Lawrence broke Daniela's streak in Mooloolaba that year. So a few just I don't want to say housekeeping notes, but just some interesting facts about this race.
You forgot one more name, Talbot. Craig Alexander's won this race twice.
Oh, yeah, that's
2006 and 2011.
And he's here as well. And he is basically a resident podcast host. So we should check Crowley.
Yeah, ouch.
I do have a couple more insights. So Daniela is the only person on the women's side who's won the Ironman World Championship and 70.3 World Championship in the same year. And then on the men's side, it's Jan Frodeno and Craig Alexander who have won both the 70.3 and the Ironman World Championship in the same year.
But for a long time, traditionally, this was always before the Ironman World Championships. And Correct. Then it's been a slight change that it's now after. So I wonder whether that makes it harder for them to do. It's certainly, I would say it's harder on the men's side because you have the likes of Jelle Geens and Rico Bogan coming in. But then on the women's side, the favourites probably still are Lucy Charles, Taylor Knibb, Kat Matthews, Solveig Losseth, and they've all done Kona already.
Mm-hmm. What do you got, Talbot?
That was the last thing I was going to get at on as far as the race course. It's so interesting how biased I am on this topic. I want Ironman World Championships to be in Kona and only Kona. But gosh, I love the rotation of this race. I mean, Ironman has done a phenomenal job at rotating this race and picking different courses and stuff.
They weren't going to let another race get stuck to one location.
No, because they hate that, really.
Yeah. It's
but you think about the races we've had, Pat, like Nice, awesome. St. George, great venue. Lati nailed it for a small venue. Taupo last year, we just couldn't love anymore.
Out of this world.
This is unbelievable as well. The town, everything's great. People want the race here. They are nailing the 70.3. I guess we put that as a bit of a question, like the Qatar thing. Is that a risk? Amman.
Amman, yeah.
but also they do seem to have a lot of money and it's a nice destination. Like, is that a risk for them? Like, will it, because every other race they've had has been brilliant. Is it taking it for a sponsor purpose? Could it lead to a NAF race?
I believe it's only one race there. No, it's only one race
Yeah,
there.
my understanding is it's just 29.
Yeah, just 2029, but it's middle distance, Middle East Championship. So we should start seeing pro races there soon as well. So, the interesting thing is going to be now we have Nice 2, maybe 3 times over the next 5 years. So we have
I
Nice
kind of love it.
26, Nice 28, and an option for 2030. 29, we're in Oman, and then 2027, people are saying that it could potentially be back in North America. So everyone's kind of fingers crossed, hoping that it's going to be back in America. But I personally like that we're going to Nice for 70.3 World Championship.
I don't think America. I think North America is what the rumors are. I don't know if it's just America, just from what I've heard. And we truly don't know. We've heard multiple things. I've heard Chattanooga's in the running. I've heard Mont Tremblant. I've heard St. George. I mean, we truly have zero idea. Traditionally, if you look at the way the schedule rotates, traditionally in past, it has come back to North America.
And they could duplicate a venue, right? Like similar to what they do with 70.3 Nice. That's a 70.3 individual by itself, but it's also host for a world championship. So they could pull the. We're going to do Oceanside as world championship. So never know. Moving on to the race itself, we have the returning champions, similar to what we do on our live shows of here's the returning champions. What do they need to do to win, and what is going to prevent them from winning? So we have 4 people. Do you guys want to split it up? We got Yella Geens, Gustav Eden, Kristian Blummenfelt, and Rico Bogan.
I'll take Rico because it seems easy.
Okay.
And then I look forward to one of you telling me why Kristian can't win.
I'll take Yella Geens.
I'll tell you why, Kristian. I'll take Kristian.
All right, I'll take Gustav.
All right, go on. I'll take Rico. He can win because Kyle said that he'd never heard of him, a nobody athlete, and it was a joke that he won, and that devalued that 70.3 Worlds. And now he is the greatest cyclist in our sport, hands down. On the men's side, I give Taylor Nibbett. On the women's side, the girl's a freak.
I would say Sam Laidlow would give him a run for his money. We haven't got to see him battle.
70.3. Yeah, okay. All right, fine. Good point. Rico Bogan's a bike absolute monster. Yeah. And once he gets over the climb, and I don't think he'll have any problem with the climb. I was chatting to his coach, Philip Seep in Kona. He gave me some exact numbers, but I'll just tell you, like, he's holding 400 watts for 80K in races. Like, it's stupid. It's just stupid power. Once he gets over that climb, the time he could put in on the draggy downhill fast sections, if he can get clear, is massive. So he could win because he is also a very capable runner. But the reason he can't win is he will believe he needs a huge bike gap and he'll blow his legs to pieces. 1, that could easily happen. Or 2, he might be a good runner, but there are genuine 106 high runners here, and lots of them, and he needs 4+ minutes, even with a good run from him. And I believe he can get that on some of the people, and he'll upset some, but I think it's very hard to see him do that here.
I think that's all fair.
I mean, he's a great guy. He's a great kid. He's a huge super talent. He's coached well. He has a lot going for him. I just think the field is so strong that the gaps and the way it needs to fall for him to win is quite a slim chance.
All right. I'm going to give Yella Geens a shout, or give, my 2 cents on it, right? So here's how Yella Geens will win this race. There will be a technical opening for him that suits his ITU background, his short course background. There's going to be a small group of roughly 10 athletes that get away on the bike. He's going to have no issue climbing with them. He'll have no issue making it through the back section. And then again, the same thing up the climb on the other side. This course will actually suit Yella Geens better than if it was a 90K drag race with minimal climbing, right? Then Yella Geens is one of those runners that is high 66, low 67 capable, and we will see that demonstrated when he breaks the tape. How does Yellow-Geens lose this race? I think now potentially in that same group of 10 or 15 that that exit the swim, he makes the split, right? Can make it over those climbs. But now there's the likes of Casper Storens. There's the likes of Gustav Iden who's coming onto form. There's the likes of Kristian Blummenfelt that's coming onto form. We don't yet know how Magnus Ditlev could impact this race potentially too, and even shred the bike a little bit. And so I just think he loses it through the depth of field that and 4 or 5 extra guys that just weren't in Taupo last year. And that's not to take away from his Taupo result, which was magnificent. But I just think that strength of field here is how he could lose this race.
Kristian Blummenfelt, this is like probably the easiest person to defend here. Let me just tell you why he can win this race. The swim does not matter, and the bike does not matter for Kristian. Let me just read you off a few things. He has not ran over 235 this year in the 3 Ironmans that he's done. And both of the 70.3s that he's done, both of them were 107. So his slowest run of this year was 234.38 in the Ironman World Championships in Nice. Absolutely insanity. How can he get beat by the rest of his competitors? There's only one way he could lose this race. And it's the same reason he lost the Ironman World Championship 70.3 in 2021. And it's the same exact reason why he lost Oceanside at the beginning of this year. And that is a flat tire.
Oh, come on.
Wow, he took
out.
that's the easy way out.
That's 100% the truth.
No, it's not. He could get outrun. He could. I'll give you another one.
No one's outrunning him.
Right, no, but what if he covers every move on the bike? He covers every attack because he's too feisty, like he did in Nice for the Ironman World Champs this year, and he blows his back doors out.
I think he's entering this race with some vengeance and a chip on his shoulder. He's not happy about Ironman World Championship this year. He's a fair teammate with his athletes. He would never say that, but I think that he is ready to go toe-to-toe, and I think that we're going to see something epic. I think Yella is a phenomenal runner. I think that there's some insane runners in this field, but KB, I mean, all these athletes always say, oh, even Lionel himself, if I go out, I'm going out on a stretcher. How many times have we seen KB get carried off in a stretcher to finish line?
Never.
At least twice.
Twice. They had to wheel him away in a wheelchair in Nice, and then because he didn't give up, and then also in Kona. When he got third to Sam Laidlow and Gustav.
God, he's such a drama queen, isn't he?
He does make it back like 10 minutes later for the awards.
Yeah,
so
I know.
weird,
and he's running around, and he's Snapchatting everyone within 40 seconds. Yeah,
Talbot has a pretty good video of him on the stretcher that he sticks his tongue out at Talbot.
He looks in, he winks.
Brilliant.
Okay, Gustav Iden. I'm going to take one of Pat's sayings here. The best indicator of future success is past success. Gustav's won this 70.3 World Championship a lot of times. This course kind of smells a little similar to how he won his first 70.3 World Championship in Nice. Don't believe he's racing on a road bike this time, but I would say that Gustav is the one that is going to be the biggest factor for the Norwegians. So, however, how he cannot win this race is going to be his compatriots, Kristian Blummenfelt and Casper Storens. Sebastian, maybe, but I think that Gustav has had massive successes already this season, and I think that he's content with that. It's going to be interesting to see the moves that he tries to cover to kind of set himself up for success later on in the day. But I think it may be just a little bit too much. I think a top 5 is a really, really good day for Gustav.
Oh, you think top 5's a good day for Gustav?
Yeah.
I think he's better than that.
I not only disagree with that. We're about to get into the show, but I'm going to say I'll say it right now. I think that we see another Norway sweep here.
That's a hot take.
But there's so many. We're going to get into some hitters.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
like 10 Olympians here.
Yeah.
There's like the Batardoses of this world. There's the Yelagines. There's so many Uber runners. If they cannot just sit and run away from them all again, surely.
Yeah. So, do we want to talk about the women, returning winners, world champions,
Yeah.
before we get into the race itself? So, on the
Yeah.
women's side, the returning 70.3 world champions are Taylor Knibb and Lucy Charles Barclay. So, we only have 2 of them this time, but we have 4 of us. Who wants to take? You want to take little bits and pieces?
Why don't we do one of us takes why one can win, one takes why they can't win?
I'll take why Taylor Knibb can win.
I'll take.
But
Sure, I'll take.
Talbot, can you take why she can't win? Because I've bashed
Yeah.
her a bit and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Mark, I'll set you up. I'll take why Lucy can win, and you take.
Oh.
No, Mark.
That's fine. That's fine.
It
that's
needs
fine.
to switch those. You guys need to switch those.
No,
I'm all right.
we'll flip it. It's fine. You take why she can win. I'll take why she can't.
Okay, let me be the nice guy for once, please.
So, Taylor Knibb, why she can win. I'm going to say the same thing I said for Gustav. The best indicator of future success is past success, as Pat always says. So, Taylor Knibb is a 3-time 70.3 world champion and has the goods to make it a 4th this time.
The reason why she can't win, and I think Pat will probably riddle off pretty much the exact same thing, is lack of training. So a lot of athletes, this is why they will target races, is the training will be flawless going in all the way into a peak performance. And when you race, just unfortunately due to the times of the races and Kona being X amount of weeks ago, 4 weeks ago to the date of the race, athletes need to recover. They come back home. I think that Taylor and Lucy are both in a very familiar situation similar situation as far as a heat stroke, and you can't train. And so when you begin home and you can't really get back in, of course, recovery is key, but I would just say that it's the lack of training. I'm not saying she can't win. I'm just saying that will be the biggest factor if she doesn't win, will be due to the lack of training and bouncing back and doing the speed stuff going into the race.
Okay, so Lucy Charles can win because she's won this race before. She won, in my opinion, the best 70.3 world champs win we've ever seen. Fastest swim, fastest bike, fastest run, dominated it. And she can also win because she is now arguably a better, even though she had the fastest run split there, that was sort of the surprise of the day. What we've seen this year is her run some of the fastest run splits or the fastest run splits in T100 races, which we just didn't see before. She's run to the win. She's not just swam away, biked away, hang on. She's running to the wins in these shorter races. She's also a phenomenally good climber. She holds some really good Strava quams, which, that doesn't say a lot unless they're heavily targeted ones where you're going up against UCI World Tour females to try and take them. So I think she's wonderfully rounded this year. She has the race in the control at the start of the race. She's there at the front. No one's going to be ahead of her, and it's hers to flex and drop power when she needs to. So, for me, if she starts the race, which we believe she is, she certainly starts as the favorite, if not one of the favorites.
Lucy Charles cannot win this race because this race is in November and not September. Had this race been in September, I think she could have won this race.
Can you elaborate?
I think that the form that we saw from her in these T100 races was insanely impressive. And I don't know, I just think that she would have been really sharp at this distance. And the edge that was taken off from Kona, separate from the end result for her, right? But the actual edge that was removed there is what will cost her the win here.
I think it's all fair. Like with all of those, with the 4 men and the 2 women, the why they can't, obviously the listeners know, and hopefully the athletes, we have to search for the why they can't. But I think all the points are fair, and you could go through the whole field and explain why they can't win, right? We just pick on them because they had this pinnacle achievement that others haven't yet.
Yep.
And looking forward and looking backwards, so at Taupo last year, we will have 3 of the top 10 returning on the women's side, 3 of the top 10 on the men's side, and from Lati, 70.3 World Championship in 2023. 3 of the returning women and 2 of the top 10 from the men's side. So, moving into the race breakdown, starting with the swim. The 70.3 World Championship record, I don't know how many people care about this, but Lauren Brandon is still the leader of that with 22 minutes and 54 seconds back in 2016, which was in Australia, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, 16 was 16 was somewhere else.
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga. So that'll probably never get broken because that was a downriver swim. So, Mark, what'd you say?
I don't think anyone cares about these records. World champ,
Yeah.
swim, bike, run record. They're just
They're
different
accolades.
races. Yeah.
So, as far as the swim, how do we see this kind of panning out? We've seen Lucy in the past go off by herself. Do you think that someone like Jess Learmonth could give her some
100%.
company this time?
There's no way Lucy's dropping Jess Learmonth in the swim.
Cool. And then with
When was the last time that Lucy had company? Was it in Dallas in 22? Was it like that?
I thought it was one of the T100 races.
Every T100 race this year, Julie Deron and others have swam with her. Every single one. She hasn't dropped the group, let alone just Jess, in T100 races this year. And a wetsuit.
Yeah, good. I don't remember that from London. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, London. Like Taylor was basically with them. She just lost them in transition and couldn't get back on. And Kate Woff was with them in lots of other races. Like I think, and Jess especially. Jess is the one that'll even come past her in London after the first lap. Jess was like, oh no, that was Singapore, wasn't it? Jess was like, "What are you doing?" and then got on the front herself.
Yeah.
So Lucy will not expect to get out of the swim alone. She'll lead it, but
Do you think it's just those two though?
No, there's some other absolute. Who's Jennifer Arnold?
Sorry, I was trying to see how to pronounce that name because it starts with a D. Jennifer Arnold's the Brazilian athlete that is also a really, really good swimmer. But I actually had to go to, that's so funny. I hit speak on my thing because I'm trying to be better at pronouncing names. I'm on Tripole Instagram page, but Tripole doesn't know if she's racing or not because it says that she's quiet on socials. But she's a Brazilian athlete that could potentially swim with that pack as well. Those front girls.
And T Nib and Georgia Taylor Brown?
I don't
maybe?
think T Nib will make that.
Georgia, maybe? Mark, what do you think? You muted, Mark.
Maybe Georgia, maybe T Nib, especially with the wetsuit, especially with the salt water. It's like the combine that makes it a little bit easier, and it's just power. And then because they all move faster, the wake becomes a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 4, 5, 6 girls get out the lead swim, to be honest.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the chase back, you think that it's how many? You think that it's more or less than 5? Or you think it's going to be people just like petering in?
I think the more girls that make the front pack, the bigger the chase pack will be. If 4 or 5 of those girls make the front pack and all the Uber swimmers are hanging on to Lucy, the chase pack could be 20 deep.
And the likes of Caroline Pohl, Hannah DeVette, Lizzie Rayner, Bianca Bogan,
Indy Lee,
Ellie Salthouse, Paula Finlay.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think Solveig has a chance to make that pack as well, or you think she's just going to be a little bit further back?
Solveig and Kat have a chance in the wetsuit. Look at they got out in Zellamsey in wetsuit with Lena Meisner and some of these Rebecca Clark, some of these really strong swimmers. I think the wetsuit is what makes me think that the likes of Solveig and Kat and some of these other real contenders for the race might end up way closer together at the front than we would otherwise expect.
Do you think that gap is a minute, maybe more?
90 seconds towards 2 minutes.
Cool.
And Bianca Bogan is Rico Bogan's sister, for those who don't know. I think sometimes people get confused if it's his wife or his sister. And it would be his sister.
A young mother of 2 sister, yeah.
And I was just about to say, and a mother of not 1, but 2.
Yeah.
So cool.
Moving on to the bike, Julie Divins, fastest bike split, 2:07:15. Moving on to the Uber bikers. Do you guys say that the Uber bikers are all already onto the swim, or do you think people like Sif Madsen and Are we calling Solveig an Uber swimmer? Or sorry, an Uber biker?
I think after Kona you have to.
Yeah. That's about when I think two things we need to take away from this, especially the Kona course and what we kind of watched. Where Taylor Knibb made her move was up Javi, which was uphill, and she was feeling really, really good. Also, Solveig, that's when she began to drop that group. She dropped them actually on the descent down into Kauai High and then started climbing and put quite a bit of time into them. And so I think that you can't look past that. There is going to be very similar, a lot of athletes that are probably hanging on for dear life. And then once they hit the climb and you don't have that 12-meter advantage, you will see a lot of swimmers in that large group, that 92nd-ish group, that will begin to go backwards quite fast. And
I think when you come off the coast road, if anyone's held up with Taylor for that long, she'll put socks in transition, so she'll have a little bit of catching up to do, and then she'll get past them before the left turn. If she's racing and she's healthy, she will attack those front girls on that first left turn off the main road. It's steep and it's a couple of minutes of climbing, and she will hit them there and she'll hit them hard. And then she'll try to build the lead she wants for the rest of the race before she gets to the top of the first climb, I believe. Lucy will pace it slightly more. I don't think Lucy will try and go with her necessarily, because I think it would be a massive effort. Taylor's the best climber in the sport, male or female. Unbelievable. Then in that next pack, and then the likes of Georgia Taylor Brown, I think will get dropped there. I just don't think they can expect to climb with the likes of Taylor Knibb. And then they have to put themselves down a good race. They have to then focus on riding on their own. And the reality is you've got 30 minutes of solo riding up the climb. I think the one that's a really good climber that we've just mentioned, but briefly, and is in form and targeted this and has not been running for a few weeks, has just been riding, is Paula Finley. I think she will climb really hard and really well for that first 30-minute climb, and she will stretch that group out. And then it's whether the likes of Kat and Solveig can hold on to her, Caroline Poles of this world. And it was going to thin out massively up that climb.
And to more power to that, I think that I could be wrong on this. I believe there's probably only 3 athletes that would probably, I hate to say attempt to go with Taylor, but that would be like, here comes Taylor, we're going to go with her if Taylor's coming past them. And that's the likes of a Paula Finley, a Kat Matthews, or Solveig. If they're around Taylor, I would guess they would probably try to either pace off her or attempt to go with her. But I see a majority of the field when Taylor comes by, they're just saying, enjoy your day.
I mean, just remember that San Francisco race last year, that video of when she went past Imogen Simmons and she just had that rock star ride. Like, I think when that comes past you, you have to be super confident that you have the legs for 90K, because you're doing that after 10 minutes. Yeah. And if you're pushing VO2 after 10 minutes and you have the confidence that, sod it, I'm just going to give this a go, you're all in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that will be quite the fireworks on the bike. Another thing that I really hope that Ironman has actually done a phenomenal job at all year is on these big climbs, and we didn't see hardly any trouble in Nice, which gives me hope. But that the athletes usually tend to ride fair, but they are traveling at a lot slower rate, so they do drift into each other's draft zones. So I just hope that there's no unfortunate slotting in or penalties that would come about just from bad racing tactics, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's when it just pays to be at the front of the group and riding your own pace.
Yeah.
And happy with a 20-meter gap. You only need to close it up once you get to the top. As long as you can see the athlete on the climb, you're not getting any draft up the climb. Sitting, if you're at 12 or you're at 15, makes zero difference.
Mm-hmm.
So, just hopefully everyone also doesn't give the referees excuses. What about technicality in the women's race? And not just technicality, I also mean like riding very fast and very aero for a sustained period. The descents here are... Go on.
So what does it tell? Just tell us about the amount of time from like the bottom of from the top of the first climb out to the turnaround, and then are you going to get a visual at is there a really tight 180, or is
there
that
are two? Yeah, there are two. There are 2 little dead turns. So you're probably at 50 minutes when you get the first dead turn time.
Yeah.
and then you're more like an hour and 20 or something for the second. They're the only two. And as far as spectating and splits go, 0. No one is getting any splits here. There's just no way to get out on the course. So unless they've got someone planted that's basically there for the day, they're not going to get any time checks but themselves, which is hard.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to the technicality of it, Mark. I mean, we've seen it on paper. I mean, how long are the descents, and then compare them to something like a Nice, or can time be made? Can time be lost? I mean, sure, you can go 30 seconds faster, 45 seconds slower.
We're talking a minute on the main descent, and we're talking, another minute across the rest of the elements of the course. It's going to be a couple of minutes here or there. I think the more important one is like riding fast for a sustained period. 60k an hour in the TT bars.
Yep.
And also being happy to be in the TT bars at 80k an hour, because there's what's that, 50 mile an hour, 50 plus mile an hour sections on the course where you need to be in the TT bars. And I think that'll impact the women more than the men, because traditionally we see a greater divide in the abilities in the women's race.
Yep. Yeah, and usually what you can do have we had a race that's similar where, like, I don't think we've ever seen a Nice. Did we ever think that something was decided on the descent? Like, we kind of thought it would play into it, maybe for the men's world championships there in 22 a little bit more, or whatever year that was.
It's never really been decided on the descent. What I do think it is especially the one that comes back into town, if you are, because then you have like 7k, 8k of normal riding left with a bit more descending, like you can certainly string people out on that descent. So I think gaps will form, but I think for the majority of the difference will be made on the climbs.
Yeah, Talbot, go ahead.
What about some of the slower swimmers like Elisa Bakaris, Danielle Lewis? When will they pick some people up on the way up the climb, or is this not one of those races they can pick people up that they'll probably just ride through a majority of these strugglers?
I think it's the Rebecca Anderbury that's thrown to that. I think they will pick a bunch of people up, but they then have to run really well, and these people have not ever backed up Uber bikes with really good runs to be in like proper contention. So I reckon there are people that will ride themselves into the top 10 because the bike has way more prevalence here than it would do otherwise.
Danielle has had some good runs though.
But on races like, yeah, she's a great runner. She's a great runner. She's just not having a season necessarily.
Yeah, fair. So
I think it's going to come. I think the win will be made on the bike, and then by that I mean, does Taylor have enough gap on Solveig and Kat, who can both run a 1:15?
What do you think that gap needs to be, or what do you think? What do you think?
You boys tell me. We're talking about
5 minutes. What was the gap? What was the gap in last year in New Zealand?
I think it was 6, wasn't it? It was big.
Yeah, I think it was
5. She would feel safe, and she should feel safe.
Yeah, I believe it was 5 or 6 minutes. So
does Lucy need any gap?
I see on this course that Taylor's gap being larger than that. Especially she knows that she can do damage on the bike here and is not going to have to do as much. I don't want to say work on the run because over biking comes with a cost, but I feel like that she could do more damage on the bike than probably usual. And then you're going to have the likes of, but also like, let's not forget, like you have the athletes like Kat Matthews and them that pressured Taylor and Lucy into riding very hard and running very hard, which resulted in their DNFs. So it's like we've already said on the show, if Lucy would ran a 3:03 marathon, she would have won the Ironman World Championships again. Like
do we think it's fair? Do we think it's fair to say that the women's race after the first climb, we're really going to see an ITT, an individual time trial?
I think it's gonna be a gap. I think it's gonna be a group of 3 or 5 that ride together.
I think
off the front.
I think it'll just be blown apart. I think you're going to see a lot like what you just said, Pat. I don't think there's going to be really big groups. I mean, of course, there'll be some athletes riding together, but you're going to see on that ticker you're going to see 20, 30-second gaps between the athletes.
I mean,
they're
that's
just going to be slowly rolling over the top. And a lot of athletes are just going to, maybe in the men's race where they race a bit more dumb, and they're going to overbike and try to stay with a pack. You will see more of the packs together, but traditionally we've seen the females race with a bit more common sense and ride to their own ability.
okay. I mean,
Wanna go
that's kind of what I think. But yeah, let's get to the run.
Okay, run. Danny Kleiser, who's out of this race, was the fastest run split last year with a 1:14.15. Fastest runners in this field are more than likely Kat Matthews, Solveig Lofseth, Lydia Russell, Tanya Newbert, who this is the first time we've mentioned her name. She's one of the German athletes that a lot of eyes are kind of on. She's hasn't been out of the top 10 at a WTCS this season, has raced a really, really good 70.3, and one that will be a name that people watch for. Grace Theck and Lucy Charles.
Yeah, I added Lucy Charles. I saw your notes. I actually looked at the notes. I hope you're proud of me, Carl.
Thanks,
And
Mark.
I saw Lucy wasn't on there. I added her for one of their favourite runners because I think she's earned that off the 2-100 runs this year.
Fair enough.
You can't look past Kat Matthews. There's that she's gonna that Taylor's gonna outbike her. There's only been one time that Kat has outbiked Taylor, and it actually was at the 2021 Ironman 70.3 World Championship. But 66% of the time, actually, on the PTO website, Kat has outran Taylor, and by a significant amount. I could go off and read some numbers, but it will be very, very interesting. The last time they raced was at the 70.3 distance. It seems like this is the only time that Kat and Taylor go up against each other at a 70.3 distance, as is at the World Championship. And we know that Kat is on better running form. We know Taylor is, I think that we could all say, a little bit handicapped in this race, given her and Lucy's DNF with the heat stroke. I just think that we're in for a phenomenal race. Of course, I am a bit more Taylor biased. I think that Kat might be able to run her down in this one, but I mean, it's just putting on a good show. The other good runners in the field, unfortunately, we saw that Laura Phillip has pulled out of the 70.3 World Championship.
That one surprises me, and Kat said the same actually, but that one surprises me. Laura Phillip likes the Ironman more. She puts more prestige on it, but she has won a lot of 70.3 races. Yeah. And if there was ever a 70.3 World Champs course designed for Laura Phillip, it's this one. She climbs brilliantly well. I'm surprised she's not cracking this. I'm being texted. Oh God, she posted.
Yeah, she posted. I think
her dog's very sick.
Did she get a dog?
No, she's had a dog.
That is their dog.
She was never intending to race this, I don't think. Okay. And yeah, I'm surprised she's not here. I think she would be one of the absolute favourites if she was.
Yeah. And then you have the likes of Lucy Charles, who I just think that Taylor and Lucy have such question marks next to their name.
Yep.
Like we think we know they're coming and we think they're racing. But like, are they coming? Or are they
per sources, they're coming and they're coming to race.
Yes, per sources.
Yeah.
But and to be fair, the only indication we have they're not is us speculating they won't. They're on the start list and we have people saying they're racing. So let's just act like they're racing. I'm interested what that means for the rest of their season. Particularly Taylor.
Like you're saying the rest of the T100 season?
We're at 53 minutes, so let's keep this as the 70.3 World Show because we still got a lot to cover.
Okay.
We'll keep that to we'll see. We'll put that in the we'll see bucket.
I think it's going to be Taylor off the bike, and then Lucy off the bike, and then Kat and some others off the bike, and they're all going to be closing together on the run. And it's who gets there first. And I think that's really exciting.
What's the most important part of this race? Your run split or your deficit off the bike?
Deficit off the bike.
Yeah, deficit off the bike.
Because I think some of them. I think more than.
No,
I think 90% of the field will be out the race.
I think it's a run split.
I completely disagree. I think
it's the run split because I think people are going to blow themselves to pieces in this course.
Yeah. I think what we learned from Kona was that if you if you
And from
stick to
Nice,
your plan,
patience.
it pays off.
I
Patience.
still think that the women race a lot more conservative than men, and I don't think that as many women are going to blow themselves to pieces as you think.
That's just true. That's just
Yeah.
true. The men will just destroy themselves.
Yeah,
But-
they just
No. Okay, fine. I think there'll be changes on the run, but I think the bike splits will be so massive that by the time we get to the run, there'll be 2 or 3 women that can win.
Yeah.
Can we do some podium picks?
Yeah, before we do podium picks, we'll just highlight. Mark, will you go through just the women pro series real quick? It looks like Lisa Perder and Jackie and Regan may not be racing, so
Yeah, but they're kind of locked. So
Yeah.
so for the women, there is still a fight for the first place. Last year it was done as long as Kat finished, basically. This year, Solveig can win. And I haven't talked about Solveig enough as a runner, by the way. She ran a 1:15 or 1:16 dead in Venice. She is one of the best runners in this field. But anyway, put a line under that. She needs to finish within 100 seconds of the winner, or she doesn't win, which is hard. So she needs to be within 100 seconds of the winner. And Kat has to be more than 640 behind the winner. If Kat's within 820 of the win, sorry, it's behind that. So sorry, Kat has to be 6 minutes and 40 behind Solveig. If Kat is within 8 minutes and 20 of the winner, she wins the Pro Series.
Cool.
So that's fairly locked. Pertra is locked in third. Great season, good T100 races. She is taking third place home in the Ironman Pro Series. Wicked achievement. Herring and Hollyoak are actually in a bit of a battle for fourth, but that's dependent on, they're not racing, so they're kind of set. Otherwise, assuming no DNFs, etc., the positions in the top 8 are fairly locked. And then if you want to look ahead on the Ironman Pro Series, Kat has dropped 155 points this year. Kristian Blummenfelt has dropped 297 points this year. So whoever drops the least points is the winner, male or female, is this metric we've come up with. Whoever has the closest to the perfect season. So Kat leads Kristian Blummenfelt by about 140 points, 142 points going into this.
So Kat could
For
be the ultimate Pro Series champion.
Well, yeah, by the metric of who loses the least points. Because I called Kristian would have a perfect season, and he hasn't got that yet, and he can't have that. So we now just default to who loses the least points in the men or women.
Fair. All right, podium picks. No bonus picks, guys. I know you guys always want to do bonus picks.
What?
Get all this
Bro,
stuff.
you're the one reading off
Right.
Top American,
He's
Dark
got it.
Horse American.
Names I've never heard of.
I got Taylor Knibb for the win, Kat Matthews second, Lucy Charles third.
I said it in Kona about Taylor and Kat, and I'm going to say it the same. I think this is going to be a coin flip either way. And then for third place, I am going to put Paul Finlay. She's going to ride her way up.
All
I
right.
like that. Team Paula.
I'll go next. I'm going to go Katrina Matthews for the win, Paula Finley second, and Tanya Newbert for third. I think Taylor and Lucy may not finish this race.
Finish. You got no offense.
Not that their athletes have never finished
I
races.
ain't hating.
I'm just saying I think that there may be some things that we saw last month that may rear their ugly head, and that's what I'm kind of concerned about.
Love Gustav Eden to death, pulling out of a 70.3 world championship. Like I come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, walk it in, brother.
Mark Matthews, do you want to do some picks?
Oh, not really.
right.
Yeah, you don't need to, Mark, if you don't
You don't
want
have to.
Yeah, I don't want
Opt
to.
out. That's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm opting out. Sorry.
Nice. Way to go. Way to stand your ground. Moving on to the men's race. We are at 1 hour right now. So we'll move on to the men's race. Huge breakdown here. Obviously, some names are not here, but that doesn't matter. The men itself will be an amazing race on Sunday. You got the returning champion Yella Gaines. You got the returning champion Rico Bogan, returning champion Kristian and Gustav. As far as how the race is going to play out, the fastest swimmer is Marco Albert. No idea who the heck that guy is from 2009. Swam a 21:35. It was probably
Whatever.
Kansas short swim. However, Going into this race, you have Alessio Cresciani from Italy, Seth Ryder, Vincent Louis, Sam Dickinson, Rico Bogan, Mark Dubrick, Jonas Schoenberg, Jamie Riddle, Matisse Margier. Did I miss anyone that could be the fastest swimmer on Sunday?
Sam Dickinson racing.
Yeah.
I'm going to think he sneaks past just to come out and have the fastest swim.
All right. And then we have the chase back of the Norwegians, Ben Canute, Magnus Ditlev. You think
It
he's
is
further
one
back?
giant pack.
You think the next one's a
I-
giant pack?
I think it's all one giant pack. I think it's going to just be stretched 70 meters long.
But in all seriousness, if we've got 60 men racing, I think we see a front pack that comes out together with 40 men, high 30s.
Before there's a gap of at least, what, 30 seconds? A minute?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm with Pat.
Bro.
I just
Someone's going to fall over someone else in transition, like it's a WTCS race.
Yeah, there's just the thing is, right, there's an immense amount of horsepower. You subtract a Rico Bogan, right, who's a guy that can lead out of the water and then torch the bike, but there's so much horsepower that notoriously comes out in the middle of the pack that I just think that's going to swell, and it's going to be 35 guys, 40 guys that come out of the water together, and then we are going to see an eruption on this first climb like we've never seen before in a 70.3 race. Imagine what we had in Lati, but now they're doing a 25-minute climb.
Yeah.
Rico Bogan, when he gets out that swim, is going to ride the flat bit so fast.
Oh,
To get to the climb to drop people.
I'm talking
Him and Jonas could go together.
Jonas will go ballistic, obviously, and obviously he makes the front swim pack. It's going to be just nukes dropped to try and split it up, partly for safety around Race Ranger and stuff like that. Rico's been burned recently in a T100 race with 0 seconds of drafting, 0 yo-yos, but whatever. Thank you so much for my beer, darling. And then I think that they will drop. I think Rico's going to ride to the bottom of the first climb at 430 watts, an average over 50k an hour.
That's mental.
Honestly, because they're going to get out with such a big pack, they'll be terrified of draft penalties, and they're going to just go.
and so what does that mean for the 35 guys behind?
Fucks.
I mean, I just think can you talk to us, Mark, a little bit about this climb and like the nuance of the gear selection with the men that are, notoriously now running 62 tooth chain rings with, if they're running Shimano, it's an 1134 or 11, these custom 1136.
No one is climbing with a 60. No one
is
is climbing with a 60 1134, and if they are, I think it's a bad choice because I think they will cross chain for so long that any advantage they have by not running a double is gone.
Yeah.
So I think you'll see. I think the Norwegians are going to gradually run doubles. They look like they don't tend to change their bikes. Yeah, that's what I think. So I think most people will run a double, and I think they'll run as big a double as they possibly have. But the men do. The women. I'm not letting on any secrets there. They've ridden the course and they're like, "Fuck, I need some gears."
Yeah.
The men, they have some real egos and they love to look slick on a one by. And even Magnus, I don't know, bro. We'll see.
Yeah, because obviously with the downhill, I mean, you don't want to have to go down to a 56 to make it up the climb, and then you would need you wish you had 60.
Exactly.
Like here, you're actually going to run out. Like if you had a 60-11, like you're going to be using it because you're going
to run out at both ends of the spectrum.
Exactly.
That's why I actually think we'll see more conventional stuff because people kind of need to sit in the middle ground. Classified hubs here is an interesting one.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm of the belief that there is a mechanical loss in the classified hub.
What does that mean? Hold on.
Classified make a hub where you don't need a front derailleur, and it effectively gives you a front derailleur built into the hub under the cassette. So it's like a mechanical shift that stops, but there will be drag in that, mechanical drag. They say there isn't any, I think there is. But basically it means you can run a massive one by on the front and have your derailleur built into your bike on the back, essentially.
Yep. So to put it even, to try and make it a little bit even more layman's terms. So you could have a 62 chainring on the front, and then there's a 32 or 34% downshift. So effectively, you're going to go to a 48 tooth chainring in the front.
And to go one more simple, Carl, there's 2 wheels on a bicycle and they're round.
And there's a chain and these gears on
the back. I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure some of our listeners are like, what the hell are y'all talking about?
Side hub here is not a bad shout, because you could get away with a big one front by for most of the climb and only downshift. And when you downshift, you have a little bit of drag in the system. But you're only using it for a short period of time. It's something you might see someone like Ineos do if they were to do this as a world tour.
Yep.
Fastest bike split is Fred Funk from 2023 with a 1:55.13. Our fastest bikers, is there anyone in this that it's going to matter of getting through the front of the field? It's like Magnus Ditlev? Or
I'll say yes. I'm saying no. Christian Hogan, like there are some things that matter in that, like Christian Hogenhaus in a fight with Gustav Eden for a spot in the Pro Series, and he is an Uber biker and he needs to capitalize on that. But I don't think so. No, I think the front runners are all such good riders as well.
Yeah, I think this course would have been interesting for somebody. It would have been cool to watch to see where the likes of like a Sam Long or a Lionel Sanders would have played out on the day. But I think the front of the race is so fast now.
So much momentum.
It's so much momentum, and it's I don't want to say you have to be in that group, but it's really important to be towards the front out of this water.
Okay, so Mark, if there's 35 guys leaving transition together, all within, we'll call it 90 seconds. I think there's going to be 40 within 90 seconds.
Easy.
How many of them are within 90 seconds at the top of the first climb?
10.
That's the exact number I had.
I can't name them, but I think the Norwegians will all be there. I think Yellow will dig deep and he'll be there. Rico will be there. Jonas Schomburg will still be there. I think, and there'll be one or two others. Like Petardos, the Greek kid, is he there?
I think it's more. I think it's more than 10 through that first climb, and then
climb's hard, mate. But you think they'll go so deep? That's what we know about the men, right?
They'll punch that. It's all ITU kids. Like, it's all WTCS kids that they only know one speed, and it's stay in the group, stay in the group, stay in the group.
Just because you're a WTS kid does not mean you're making it to the front of this climb. Like, no offense.
It does mean you might ride like an idiot, though.
You're going to ride like an idiot to do one thing, and it's stay in the group, because that's the only rule you know in WTCS.
I'm not in any way hating. But you got to remember, some of these power files are like through their Olympic, they're averaging like 280 watts with some big surges. This is a bit different.
That's generous as well.
Yeah, like this is a lot different on pushing sustained power. If they make it at the top of the climb, their legs are shot. I don't think just because you're a short course athlete means. I think if it's a flat course, if it's a Galati course, I think you're riding in that. But this is a large climb. So Miguel Hidalgo is a good example.
I was just going to say it.
Really curious to see where he's. The guy could win the entire race. He could come off and run a sub 1 hour marathon, half marathon, and win the whole thing. So
like Fabian Kraft as well. Petardos, as we've said, Hidalgo. These guys, their running is like absolutely obscene, and the Norwegians would rather they weren't a factor. But I don't think the Norwegians will drive the pace, and I don't think they'll have to either, because people are scared of them. They will just surf the wheels. So KB, Gustav, etc., they won't push the pace. The likes of Jonas Schomburg will, the likes of obviously Bogan will, and that will split the field, and then it will play into the Norwegians' hands, I think.
Yeah. Another just interesting note here, Gregory Barnaby not racing, doing a single Ironman event the entire year
after winning the Pro Series last year.
That's just crazy to me. So, this is where he won 200K. Was it this race last year?
Yeah, it was Taupo. I do find his decision making, and he is a really lovely guy. I don't, with the most English name for an Italian, and I know I tell you off for saying he's a lovely guy, then I bash on them. So he's not a lovely guy, he's an asshole, and he's made shit decisions.
Oh my god!
I will. I'm going to tip my hat to him a little bit, though. He's one of the only athletes that he was like, I'm signing the T100 contract. I'm doing all the T100 races. I'm not flirting with anyone else. So
Yeah,
I'll tip my cap
please
to him
know
on it.
I'm joking there as well. I just find it confusing. That's all I mean.
But I do think it is a bit strange that someone who's been top 10 at Ironman World Championship and then also has raced really well at 70.3 and won his first 70.3 last year, no show. So
What about Jamie Riddle? What's he now? What's he on about?
He posted today that he's not been running well after his win at Challenge Barcelona. So
Right.
he's the one that's going to freaking punch the swim and punch the bike.
Chat to his dad all the time, top bloke. That is the most clickbait bullshit I've ever read. It looked like he was dropping out.
And then he voted on our poll that said he was going to go top 5.
For yes.
Another athlete not racing, I'm a little bummed about because I think he could have done really well here. Samuel Dickinson. I think he would have been a.
Oh, is he not
good...
racing? I just called him for fastest swim, and you said he was racing.
I don't believe he's racing.
Huh? Oh.
Listen, I get my updates from Tripole Athlete.
Oh,
and
she
unless
is good.
she's led me astray.
Oh yeah, he's not on the start list that we posted either. So,
guys and girls, what we're talking about here, we've talked about it before. Tripole Athlete on Instagram, and she does this wicked thing where she updates the start list with a color code. Definitely not racing. Haven't heard from them. Is in town, and when she sees you in town, she updates you to green. Excellent page to follow.
Thanks, Elise. Appreciate it. Let's move on to the run.
Like,
you want to move on to the run?
Let me just, if you're on YouTube, this is my setup. I got try rating over here, show notes, and then just on my phone, I have Tripole Racing. While we go through the notes.
Okay, bike split. Rico Bogan, fastest bike split? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Ooh.
Everyone agrees. Okay.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Why?
You have to pick someone though.
Just because
who
you guys all pick. I'll go with is Matisse Margier racing?
Yep.
I'll go with him.
All right. I can see that.
It depends whether he has cramps in transition or just after he gets out of transition.
I'm gonna go with no. And
KB, sorry, I'll pick KB for fastest bike
on
split.
the KDEX. I think fastest.
Love that take, Carl.
I think fastest bike split. Fastest bike split. I'm gonna go with Seth Ryder. So
you can't.
No, overall bike split, not American.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't come out of the front swim pack. The only way is like you got to be one of those backer swim packs and ride your way to the front.
So Talbot, are you backing some cramps in transition, which means he has to ride up?
No. I changed to KB.
And he stays with the. Oh, okay.
I changed to KB
because that would be quite clever.
Because KB will just wheel surf his way up towards the front.
Because he's a pack rat.
Yes. Well, I mean, he races within the rules.
But no. But that brings up a really good point.
Who's the pack rat?
No, will there be tactics on the bike like we saw in Nice?
Like, are you saying? Can we clarify? KB is a cockroach.
We're not calling anybody. We know what it's like to be called a cockroach. We're not calling anybody.
He could be a cockroach with us, so it'd be amazing. He would love it.
We're losing the plot.
We haven't shared this photo, have we? We did this thing. We talked about how the T100 called us cockroaches, and within about 2 minutes, KB had sent an AI photo to Talbot. About 2 minutes of launching the pod because he has it on auto download, good to go. And it's this amazing photo, one of our group photos from Nice. He has turned us all into Talbot. Please get it up. He's turned us all into little cockroaches. This was from KB. Straight away.
And it's dad cockroach with his three little kids.
Yeah. And it is Pat's the dad because he is the oldest member of our pro Chinese group.
I love KB,
That's
man.
so good.
Yeah,
That's so good.
Okay.
Anyway, right, come on.
What's the gaps going to be coming in off the bike? Like, what is Rico's gap going to be ahead of everyone else?
I don't see it being more than 60 seconds.
It will either be 0 or like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then a huge capitulation on the run.
Yeah.
There's no 3-minute world in a men's Ironman 70.3 World Championship. Come on now. The egos are way too big in this race.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I could see that.
He gets clear.
Yeah, that's what I think.
if he can get clear off the top of that climb, I promise you the damage he'll do on that draggy stuff. And people will be on the front riding threshold going, I'm still getting dropped. Why am I chasing this guy? He'll blow up on the run anyway. And they'll look around and they'll be like, I have to outrun Casper. I have to outrun, and they'll all sit up.
I truly think we're going to have a scenario where it's a reverse of Nice, where there's going to be a selection. Casper, Gustav, and Kristian are going to make it over the top of that climb. And then now the heads are going to turn to Casper. And he's going to have to make a decision what do I do here? And I think that's how Rico Bogan ends up with 3.5 minutes in T2. I'm not saying that he's going to win, but I still think that he's going to, what we've seen from Rico this year is he's going to put his head down and drive as hard as possible for 80K. For 90K.
Like awesome. I think if I'll say it right now, if Rico comes off with a 3-minute lead, Rico's walking on the run, so it doesn't matter. He's getting outran by a lot of people.
I agree, and I think Philip Seep will have his head in his hands because Philip's coaching with Rico is like as much like athlete management, maturity, all that stuff as it is physical. I think if Philip watches Rico going full send at 10K on the bike, he's going to be like, oh my God, what has happened? It'll be like that.
And then behind Rico, you think it's a big group, or you think it's
the Norwegians will be together this time.
Okay.
Plus
I think it's going to be individuals. I think it's going to be Rico Bogan first off the bike, then Jonas, then Matisse, and then a group after them.
Matisse. Yeah, Matisse is a super rider. Yeah.
I think those three are going to be your first three into transition, and then it'll be a group after them.
So go on, let's get onto the run because we are running long here.
Course record on the run is the one and only Jan Frodeno 106.33 in South Africa in 2018.
Still the best triathlon race that's ever happened?
One of them. I think this one's going to give them a run for their money.
Well, let's see. But yeah, okay.
Fastest runners, you have Jelle Geens, the Norwegians, Miguel Hidalgo, Simon Vian, Cameron Main, Jason West, Matt Hansen, Jake Birtwistle, Lasse Priester, who's run a 106 2 times this season, and Fabian Kraft. But you also still have the people that are going to be at the front of the race from the swim and the bike. Patagones Patados and...
Patados is underrated as a runner there. If he gets it right, his runs in Venice and Tallinn, ridiculous. Oh my God.
We are joined by Kristian Blummenfelt has flown into the show today.
Someone needs to read off his name when he entered into the chat.
He's entered the chat as Pro Series leader. Kristian, how are you, mate?
I'm good. Race week, in Sierra Nevada. You can see the track behind me. And 1 week out.
When are you coming down from altitude?
We're getting down quite late. We're coming down on Wednesday. So that will be 4 weeks up here. And it's like a tight window, because Nice was not too long ago. So we wanted to rather have some days at home rather than going like straight up from Nice to altitude and then having 3 days in Marbella, but where I've at least I've had like 2 days in Marbella practicing the course. So it should be a fun one.
Amazing. We just showed our audience the photo you made of us as the Cockroach Boys. And I was wondering, are we going to need to make a photo of the Norwegians as like 3 little rats for being pack rats after this race, or are you guys going to hit the bike hard? What's the plan?
Why are we so aggressive against people who can run? I think that's a bit unfair. And as well, like it's a course with 1,700 meters elevation. It's not like you can draft your way down to the beach, Like you still have to climb the hills. And
Hey, KB, before you go, Pat thinks there's a world where Rico could have 3 minutes on the field coming off the bike. Off the bike. You think that's true?
Could be, but I think it's the weather forecast is supposed to be above 15 degrees Celsius. So I guess he will get like a heat strain anyway at the beach.
At the beach. What are you going to run to the beach? How fast will you run to the beach?
Oh, like I'm not like I guess like 3:10 10 pace each per K. But it's like, if you look away from I think it's a little bit of gravel sections. I haven't really seen like the
It's pretty
whole
good,
run
mate.
course,
It's
but
quite well packed.
yeah, then
Okay,
I think, I guess like a 67 or 66 is sort of what's having like 67 and 68 maybe is what it takes, I guess, to beat Jelle and Kasper on the run.
Yeah.
And then for you, if it's not Jelle, Kasper, and Gustav, is there anyone else you don't want to run against?
I didn't say I
Ideally.
didn't want to run against them. I didn't say I didn't want to run against them.
You know what I mean.
It's more, yeah, I think Pitados
Yeah.
Yeah.
What-
can be a strong
what a-
one.
What about our boy from Brazil?
Yeah, Miguel. Yeah,
Yeah.
as well. He can be strong. Like, he's a light rider, strong on the bike. So, and also now our new rebel athlete. So maybe that gives him some wings too on the course.
Nothing like a
Plug in a sponsor
Nice.
here in the pod as well. But good.
Oh, thanks for jumping on. Ironman Pro Series winner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
see you.
you,
Good
Kristian.
luck.
For now.
Thank you.
Have a
Good
good one.
weekend. See ya.
Bye. Oh my gosh.
Dude.
How
I
can-
love him, man.
How can you not love it? He can't work out how to hang up the call, but how can you not love that guy?
Wow.
Did you just send him a link and he was like, yeah, sure, why not?
I sent him the link. I said, "Who's your podium?" And all of a sudden, he pops up Pro Series winner.
He calls in. What a legend.
Oh my gosh.
right,
On to the
come
We're
on.
on
run.
the run.
Yeah.
We're on the run. Like, there's going to be a few people. He's just told us, right? Like, we know who the runners are. It's Miguel Hidalgo. It's Batista, whatever his name is, the Greek fucking lunatic that just ran like a genuine 107 on a better sand as well. I will say Venice. So
Patagones,
that bodes.
Batados. The only thing about
Batados.
Batados that's a question mark for me is he's been dealing with quite a bit of some stress fractures, and that's the only question mark. I'm like, well, what condition is he coming into this race? The other one for me, Simon Vian, who not a lot of people will know because he didn't target the Pro Series or anything like that. He's ran super well, and Lasse Priester, the German guy, depending on how he rides this race, he will be a factor on the run. Whether it's run into a podium or a top 5, he's one of those guys
Yeah.
that can
Yeah, I
surprise
agree.
some people.
I totally agree.
So, fastest ever 70.3 was Jelle Gaines last year, 3:32.09. Times don't matter. All that matters is who takes the tape first. So, we're probably going to be so incorrect on these, but it's fun to sit here and hypothesize what could happen. So, we're super excited for the men's race that's coming up. Mark, can you give us a little Pro Series breakdown for the men?
Yeah, I mean, Christian's right to call himself that. He's locked in first place. He's just job done. Second place, I believe, is Kasper Stornes. He's locked in as well. They're just safe. I think there is a very good chance here that Gustav Eden can overhaul Christian Hogenhaug. He needs to beat him by 2 minutes 33. And you would have to say, as good as Hogenhaug is, Eden is the 70.3 athlete amongst them. And Hogenhaug is, parenting pretty heavily at the moment as well. So give him that. Nick Thompson could possibly squeeze into 4th place.
Yeah,
but he would need to beat HH, who's these notes, by the way, are Kat's dad. I panicked. We didn't have enough detail on the Pro Series, so we asked a resident mathematics expert. Who is he talking about? HH there. Nick Thompson could squeeze Hogenhaug. Thank you.
Yeah.
Would need to squeeze into 4, so he'd need to beat him by 5:08. I think that's. He says unlikely, but not impossible. Especially given we know Hogenhaug is parenting a lot, he's not training massively. But so that's the it's interesting there, 3rd and 4th. Von Berg and Gauche into 6th and 7th, provided they finish Marbella sensibly. So within reasonable pace, the 6th and 7th place are pretty locked up. The race off between Schomburg and Stepniak, Stepniak's, they're both on form really, but Schomburg should basically pump him. They could also drop into the top 10. The interesting one for me is Chevalier, Hoffman, and Marquardt, who's 10th, 11th, and 12th.
They're not here, right?
Yeah, and it turns out that it could have cost Marquardt about 40 grand by not racing this.
Oh,
His drop off from not scoring points here well could cost him $40,000 by not turning up.
Do we know that he qualified? I don't believe that he did with a.
no, he didn't
15 for
qualify. He
15.
had a lot of cramping issues in the 70.3s.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, like it shows that this series every year, the drop off in prize money between the places is really significant. And like, if you don't qualify for 70.3 Worlds, it's almost like your first priority. You got to qualify for Kona, you got to qualify for 70.3 Worlds, then you start shaping and scoring your points. You can't just keep going to big hitting races once you haven't qualified the first time out. Like, if you haven't qualified at Oceanside, a huge hit race, don't go to the next biggest hitting race around and hope to qualify. You've got to qualify, or else you're going to lose the series at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we do men's picks?
Yeah.
I will run through mine. I got KB for the win. I got Casper, and then I got Jelly Beans.
I got KB, Casper, Magnus.
Is Magnus in good form, Pat?
Allegedly.
Didn't he have pneumonia not long ago?
I can't remember. Did he?
That's what he said.
Yeah. It was right after
Nice.
After Nice. Yeah, that was a while ago. This
Okay.
is a weird. Remember, this is a long season for a lot of these guys.
I love
So-
your loyalty, Patrick. We value you for it. I'm going to be boring as well. KB. The guy's just chill. He's so good at this distance. He's the best runner around. KB. And then I'm going to take.
You gonna pick up Rico?
Yellow and no, I'm not. No, I think he's going to do something fun, but it won't. And then I'm going to take Batardos for third.
All right. That leaves me. I'm actually going to go the same for the win, Kristian Blummenfelt. Not because he came on the live show, but because he's proven that he's one of the best athletes in the field.
Kristian Blummenfelt.
It's Kristian Blummenfelt. Second place, I'm going to go with. Oh, this is so hard. I'm going to go Fabian Kraft, the German.
I like it a lot.
And then third place, I'm going to go another German, Jonas Schoenberg.
Nothing would make me happier.
I think that he's going to have the swim and bike of his life and hang on for the run.
I've actually never met him. Have you guys met?
So
I've never really
in Frankfurt, he's so nice. He's
a
hilarious.
nice guy.
I just seem to root for him. I just love the way he races. Like, just almost. I need to stop swearing on the podcast, but he's just gone. Like, I think he's great.
I love how honest he is. When we were in Frankfurt, I was like, "All right, how much draft are you getting behind that moto?" And he was like, "Quite a bit." But I mean, I think he's one that could go with Rico. So
he's crazy, yeah. All right, that's up.
We got hot takes. We had a bunch of them submitted, so we're just going to go yes and no through this. I know we're at almost 90 minutes, so this is going to be a long show. Sorry, we're not splitting this up into 16 episodes, giving you guys a race week series, but we're gonna be valuable of our time and also your time. So we'll run through these hot takes pretty quick. We'll just go yes or no. You guys can just answer, and then I'll answer as well. So first one, Jamie Riddle, top 5, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
no,
Yellow and Paula win, yes or no?
No.
but I wish Paula could win.
Yeah,
I
me
want
too.
her to win.
Yeah, same. I think no, but again, we would all be happy.
No American in the top 10 of the men's field.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
As in, yes, there won't be one.
Correct. As in correct. No, there
Oh,
will
no,
be
there's
no.
there'll be an American in the top 10.
There
No
will not
chance.
be.
There will not
Norway won't make the podium. No.
No.
Absolutely.
be. Who
ridiculous.
submitted that?
I don't know. These are submitted by listeners, and most of them are repeated.
That it says at Hayden Wild submitted that one.
Weird.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Lindsay Rayner and Cameron Main can podium. I'd say that they could go top 10.
No.
It's just a no. Cameron
Uh,
Main. Oh, it's hard. It's hard.
It's not. That's not us throwing shade. That's just.
That's the reality.
Yeah, fine. No,
2 Norways and an underdog on the men's race podium.
I like that
Possible. Yeah.
because we could. If Batardos is an underdog, yeah, like Kraft's an underdog, that could easily happen. Yeah.
Norway
Are you-
sweep. Yeah.
Possible.
No.
Norway sweep, yes. Could be possible.
Norway
again, no.
podiums, but not win. I don't see that happening.
Oh. Yeah, 2 Norway podiums and yellow Geens. That could happen.
Yeah.
Overbiking will be the difference in the race.
Yes.
Like it. Good shout. Whoever that was, that could be true.
Nick Thompson and Jamie Riddle 1-2. Who submitted this? Ogden Squad.
Absolute like fucking cake dreamer from down under that likes a bit too much YouTube.
Nick Thompson podium.
Nick Thompson wins.
No, he
No.
doesn't. But he's great for the sport, and he's a hell of a rider, and he's improving so rapidly. But his runs.
Did
not
you
there yet.
guys see his video of
So
Sam
good.
Laidlow announcing you're racing Western Australia? I laughed so hard. I love Nick.
Yeah,
So
he's
good.
brilliant, but he's not podium here because of his run just yet. Maybe he will one day.
Paula Finley off the podium. Not the world I'm in.
I want Paula to win.
Yeah, well, I think everyone wants to see Paula do well, so no.
Women's race will be better than the men. I don't think so on this one. We've said it all season. The women racing has been better than the men, but I think this is the one that the men's race will be better.
We
than
said
the women.
that Kona was going to be the better world championship race.
But I'm talking about like Texas earlier in the year, Roth, like all these other races.
I think the men's race will be more exciting because they will be close together off the bike, and we'll see running racing.
We've seen 2 absolutely incredible Ironman World Championships this year. It's going to be hard to top both of those races. So I can't wait for this weekend. It's going to be amazing racing, but it's going to be hard to top.
Blumenfelt and Katrina Matthews win. Could happen.
Yes.
Could happen.
Paula Gustav win.
No, Gustav
No.
won't win, but Paula.
Right,
has
are
a
these
better
all just
chance.
like random combinations?
Hey, some of these. Paula first off the bike. I don't. Maybe.
There's a
could
world
see
that could happen.
If Taylor doesn't race and has a problem, yes.
Lucy
I
gun
could
to
see
tape.
Could happen.
No.
And
No.
Because
lastly,
I think there'll be too much shake-up out of transition. I think she could do the rest, but I think Taylor as well.
nobody cares about the 70.3 World Championship. If you
Absolute
listen to
bullshit
this
these days.
episode for the last hour and 40 minutes, that
I would say that they had a good point back around Mont Tremblant World Championship time, but
after
Ironman has
after
done.
South Africa with Alistair Gomez and Jan, it is the second biggest race in the world, the third on an Olympic year. But there is nothing that comes close to this for second biggest race in the world.
Yeah.
So, if you're just excited as we are, tune in for Saturday for the women's race, and tune in on Sunday for the men's race. Talbot, you want to give us a closeout?
Yeah, I think that it should be noted here just for historical purposes. KB gave me his podium, and he said he will win. Casper will get second. And an unnamed Norwegian that we can revisit our post-race show on someone who's not a Norwegian will get third, but I'll leave the name that we can read it off on the podiums on our post-race show. Thanks everyone so much. Good luck to everyone racing this weekend. If you are a listener, best of luck racing. We're bummed we're not there doing a live show, but we will be back in full force next year. And massive thank you to all of our sponsors. This pretty much wraps the championship season. Of course, there's some other races later on in the year, but I mean, one hell of a year, and we can't wait to dive down. Maybe we might have to do split episodes based off the racing this weekend for the recap. So maybe we could do that. But thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one.